getting a new product out there, and also kudos to Arcol guys. Like, they're doing something cool. It's really hard to do technology in the AEC space, as I'm sure anyone here who's a technologist at their firm has found. Sometimes the best ideas don't get as much love as we would like. So the fact that we have a community of people here together who are thinking about making the future better, I just really want to applaud everyone here for coming out. So thank you all. Yeah. So you guys may know, or you may not know, I'm Patrick Chopson. I'm one of the co-founders of Cove Tool, which in the past was a software company. So you guys may know us as a software company doing sustainability software. We've actually changed our name recently to Cove.Inc. And the reason we did that is, one, we're backed by Iron Man, who believes in our vision of a more sustainable future. So Robert Downey Jr. is one of our investors, which is kind of cool. But also, we've realized that services powered by AI is the future for us in the sustainability space. So that means actually doing full fee proposals and things like that. What that has kind of signaled is that if you asked me this question maybe 2 years ago, 1 year ago, is it possible to make an AI-powered services org, an AI-powered architecture firm, or an engineering firm, I would have said, no way. But over the last couple of years, we've seen an incredible advancements in the tech that's come out. And I think that, you know, Iron Man's suit, where you're like talking and things are happening, is here. And it's going to be coming for just about anything that you're working on. And for us, that's really been the ability to not just train people on how to use the software, but how to get the answers. We did write a book recently on sustainability, and I just wanted to see, I did bring a copy with me tonight. So who knows when we crossed over the 1.5 degree Celsius threshold for the world? Any guesses? Yeah, it was last year, was the first year. So 2024 is the first year. So we got a winner. Appreciate it, thank you. So I guess I just wanted to get that out there. We do have the textbook, but one of the things that we learned was that people are actively looking for ways to implement sustainability within their firms. And why is it so hard to get stuff implemented? It's because there's a base understanding of technology amongst the AEC world. So we think about, like, if you're going to ramp up and down projects, the kind of people that you need to bring on need to know a basic set of things. And so it becomes very hard to introduce new tech. And so one of the things you have to really focus on as a firm is, if you're going to advance your practice, you have to think about, why are we missing so much profit? According to McKinsey, there's $268 billion in missed profits every year in the AEC industry, just from data transfer. So if you're using something like Arcol, if you're using, you know, some of the new tech, you know, and all those things, you'd realize that you could actually achieve greater profitability within your firm. And one of the things we've seen is that there's like about a 20% is a maximum profitability for most architecture firms. And one of the things that drives that is that we don't adopt technology. So if you think about it, CAD took about 20 years to come on. Revit took about 20 years to move on. So my ask for you all is, if you're going to use Arcol, don't take 20 years to implement it. Yeah. But think about, like, how you can actively support that in the firm. One of the things that kind of helps sometimes is to make a business case for why you think something can work, and then show and prove things. So it's like when you're thinking about how you're implementing technology within a practice, you have to, like, show the money. So with sustainability, it definitely means that we can't just say, hey, we should do the right thing. Certainly in the latest political environment that we find ourselves in, it's not likely that sustainability will be something we should be talking about. I would say talk about cost. And the reason why maybe it's really hard to do embodied carbon studies or energy models and things like that is that's very difficult as a person who's working on a project with deadlines to watch all the details. Think about embodied carbon, it's the nutrition facts of your building, how much carbon's in the concrete or the walls and things like that. You're probably not an expert at reading an EPD and getting in there and reading all the little details and stuff. And so a lot of times we have to rely on expensive consultants. And so one of the things that we found is that maybe there's a saying that only God can watch all the sparrows. We really feel that AI, specifically around sustainability, is the key to driving that change. Because now you can establish, and watch a project and extract that information and then get answers. So one of the things that are really, really cool thing that we're seeing is that we can build a lot of stuff quickly. So when you're using AI in your software development workflow, we're able to actually build tools and things like that for the purposes of delivering people's projects. Whereas before, when we were a software company, we had to develop everything for, I guess, the minimum viable architect, you could say. And so that made it really hard to launch products over time. And so, because then you had to train people, and you had to make sure that firm stayed trained up. And so recently, a lot of firms like Praxis and other ones out there, there's a lot of our friends here in Atlanta, TVS, I think there's some folks in the crowd. They've been really kind of thinking, how do we implement technology in the 21st century? And so there's a lot of really interesting work going on. So if you're in your firm and in your practice and you don't know what's going on from a sustainability perspective, definitely find the people, develop that community, and then obviously we're also there to help as well as consultants. Shameless plug. One of the things that we did build recently, though, is a Vitreous AI. And so what that is it's kind of the play on Vitruvius and Veritas, I guess. But one of the things that's really neat is we were able to use these workflows and AI to actually look at zoning codes, energy codes, all the different codes and standards that affect a sustainable building choice, and actually be able to assemble that data for our consultants quickly. And so one of the things that kind of kills sustainability initiatives is often the time it takes to deliver that project. So maybe the information needs to arrive next week, and there's no one available to do that. We're actually finding some of that time savings allows us to offer those services, but I think many firms are also finding that, the ones that aren't banning AI, because there's a few that are, that if you actually get in there and start thinking about that early on, you can actually start to develop really interesting workflows. And so one of the things that we're working on right now is a lot of massing generation and massing study type stuff in the background, so that we can, again, be able to answer people's questions for them. Of course, we still have software that people can use, but I think people really just want the answers a lot of times. Here's some of the behind the scenes stuff that we're working on. And I think it's just really interesting that you can make mass customizable software in the background to do things, and maybe we can go over to other tools out there and actually keep moving it along in terms of developing interoperability, IFC, things like that. I think we're really super supportive of anything that's in the, trying to do the open source thing, doing things the right way. I think we all kind of get locked into sometimes a specific way of doing things from a technology perspective. If we're all the big A, doing things their way, then we'll never be able to innovate and apply some of these changes that are coming to the rest of practice in the world. So hopefully that gives you guys some quick thoughts. And I'm not doing something as cool as launching a new product, but I'm really excited for everything that everyone's doing here, and just really wonderful that we've been all able to get together tonight. So thank you all.